Hey Astra Kids, and welcome back. And in today's video, I'll be talking about the sun in the 6th house. Let's go ahead and jump right into this. So before we start, you first want to understand what sign is the sun positioned in. This is very important to understand the functioning of the sun in your chart. You also want to see, is the sun conjunct with any planets or receiving aspects from planets. It's also important to understand that the most active time in your life will be during a Sun Mahadasha. So if you have not seen my video on the Sun Mahadasha Bhuktis, I will leave a link for that above and down below in the description. So what does the sun represent? The sun is the king in astrology. The sun represents your true self, your soul signification. So this is all about your purpose in life, the whole reason why you have come into this physical incarnation. The sun represents purity and righteousness. It is all about taking the righteous path in life. The sun also represents your sense of confidence and self-esteem, your ability to take the initiative to go for what you want in life. The sun represents those in positions of power, authority, government. It represents your relationship with your father or father figures. It is all about your ability to rise to power and fame in life. The sun also represents your physical health, your vitality, and your well-being. So this is a very important planet to understand your health and your physical constitution. Along with this, the sun represents your spiritual journey in life because once again, it is the soul significator, all about your soul's purpose in life. There is a negative side to the sun though. When you use the power of the sun incorrectly, you are coming from a place of ego and pride. So definitely you want to keep a handle on this. So what does the 6th house represent? The 6th house is one of the most difficult houses in astrology. It represents our everyday life, all of the challenges, problems, and chores that we have to deal with on a daily basis. The 6th house represents enemies, competition. It represents your colleagues, your workspace. It is all about your health, diet, illnesses, any sort of legal issues, divorce, litigation is all related to the 6th house. So typically, malefic planets do very well in the 6th house as they're able to overcome the obstacles. And the sun is considered to be a mild malefic. Yes, the sun is pure and righteous, but it also has a burning and piercing nature. So the sun does very well here in the 6th house. And so with this position, you can find that you go through a lot of difficulties and struggles early on in life. However, if the sun is placed well in your chart, then you have the ability to overcome these obstacles with time and experience. This definitely can make you someone who is extremely ambitious and determined. You have a great degree of willpower to overcome the obstacles of life. You're very determined to come out as the victor, as the winner. And so this makes you determined to keep pushing forward even when you fall down. You have this ability to come back from defeat and to strive through the difficulties of life. You're definitely a very competitive person and you can be relentless in your drive to win in arguments and difficulties. And this can play out in your career as well, working in the medical field, in the legal field, any field where you are dealing with problems, dealing with solving other people's problems and overcoming all sorts of difficulties. You have a great fighting spirit in you. You're a very bold and determined person. And again, if the sun is placed well, this gives you a great deal of dedication as well. You take your work very seriously. You are all about succeeding and accomplishing the task at hand. This can definitely make you very detailed and organized in your workspace, and your reputation is something that is very important to you. Sometimes the sun in the 6th house, particularly if it is placed poorly here, can affect your physical health. So there can be all sorts of illnesses, especially the sun is related to the bones and the heart. So there can be cardiovascular issues, there can be bone fractures, all sorts of accidents and injuries related to this placement. But if the sun is placed well, then you take your health very seriously and you can have very strong physical constitution. Definitely with this placement, when you overcome obstacles, when you overcome difficulties, this gives a boost to your confidence and self-esteem. Your ego and identity is attached to your ability to solve problems, to come up with creative solutions, inventive solutions. Your ability to help those in need is something that is extremely important to you. And this can make you an excellent leader. Again, you can find yourself working in fields related to medicine, fitness, healthcare, anything where you are providing a service to others, even working in the government, military, police, anything where you have to fight for others, where you have to support others, you work very well in these environments. This can definitely get you interested in social work and political causes and anything where you are helping out in the difficulties of society. Sometimes this can also make a great position for athletes as well, because again, this is a competitive house and the sun is about your health and vitality. So definitely anyone getting into sporting events, this can give you a great ability to deal with competition and hard work in these areas. With this placement, you can also find that again, sometimes you struggle early on in life. So you could find yourself coming from a humble upbringing, from a very low place in life, but the sun here gives you the ability to rise, because again, the sun is all about your ability to rise to fame and prominence. So you can go from the lowest point to the highest with the sun placed here in the 6th house. This definitely can make you very skilled at decision making, again, at problem solving. You have a very clear way of thinking and dealing with the difficulties and the details of life. But if the sun is placed poorly, then this can give you very bad decision makings where you can make impulsive decisions. You can jump into situations without fully thinking it through. And sometimes when the sun is not placed well, this can also diminish your energy and your willpower to succeed in life. You can find yourself starting things with great enthusiasm, but not seeing it all the way through. Also, if the sun is not placed well, this can give a lot of instability and difficulties around your career and work life. Some of you can experience some struggles and delays related to your work. You can also find yourself dealing with a lot of enemies. So where the sun is placed well in the chart, you have an ability to overcome enemies and obstacles. But if the sun is not placed well, then you find yourself being the one who is overcome by those obstacles. Definitely, if the sun is not placed well, then you can have a false sense of ego. You can have a very fragile ego and can be very sensitive to the problems and difficulties of life. This can give you lethargy, low health, low immune functioning. There can be a difficulty with asserting yourself and going for what you want. If the sun is placed well here, then you can find that your father also may be related to these medical fields, anything where it is involved with helping others and doing work in society. If this sun is placed poorly, then your father may be someone who has a lot of difficulties in life, but was not able to come back from those difficulties. Whereas if the sun is placed well, then your father is someone who was not defeated by failures or difficulties, but was able to come back from these obstacles. And this becomes a great inspiration to you. Definitely with this placement, you are all about productivity and efficiency. So this is not just about work. You are a perfectionist and you like to build systems and structures that can help you to accomplish everything with the best speed and quality. Definitely with this placement, you are someone who can have very high standards and are not willing to settle for less. You like for things to be at the highest level. And this can, again, make you very much interested in health, diet, and routine. You can be very routine-based with this placement and can take your health and your career very seriously. Sometimes with this placement, again, if the sun is placed poorly, then you can find yourself with low energy levels. And so definitely, whether you have this placed well in your chart or not, you want to allow yourself to have the rest that you need, because you can overwork yourself with the sun placed here. This definitely can make you a workaholic. And as the sun sits in this 6th house, it will aspect directly onto the 12th house of the chart, which is all about escapism. So you can find that, especially when the sun is placed poorly, that you are wanting to escape from your responsibilities. And so this is all about finding some relaxation meditation, something that can calm your mind and can support you as you are putting in all of this work and effort. Sometimes this placement can also show that you work with animals as well. The 6th house is the house of small pets. You could find yourself working in isolated facilities as well as this aspects onto the 12th house, working in hospitals, prisons, schools, institutions, anything that is a isolated facility. For some of you, this could also take you into foreign lands as well, doing social work, social services, helping those in need in foreign places.